Holding the two seam, you want to put your fingers in the tracks, is what I call them, crease of the ball, narrow part of the seams, okay? The idea of this is the two seams, when you throw it, there's two seams catching air. Out of this pitch you're going to generate for a lefty, you hope that you get movement down and away to the left side. For a righty, you're hoping you get a little action to the right down on your fastball. So in righties will get, sometimes it'll run, cut in, you know, it'll stay more on a flat plane and ride in on a right-handed batter. Lefties, a lot of times will get more of this action where it's fading down and away to a right-handed batter. One way to decrease or take a little bit of velocity off of the two seam is to take your thumb, and to start with, you want to start with your thumb under the index finger on the two seam. That's where it should be positioned. In order to get a little more movement, a little speed off of it, maybe a little more action down, you can start playing with moving your thumb up the side a little bit of the ball, and you'll get more action for a lefty going down and away. A righty would get more of a change-up action, fading back down and inside to a righty. All right, four seam. Four seam fastball is across the horseshoes, what I call it. You're going across the bend, and you can do the loop out, you can do the loop in. Whether you're righty or you're lefty, it doesn't matter. All right, you want to keep your fingers somewhat close, but you can separate them a little bit. On this one, you want to take your thumb, not so much under your index finger, but more towards your middle finger, and maybe even back on the ball. Some of the harder throwers will get it back here on this seam and out on the finger. On the four seam fastball for a lefty, either way, you're going to generate probably a little more velocity. You got all four seams catching air. The idea is to get a little cut action or just have it ride straight and hard in, okay? For a righty, same thing. It's going to ride straight in, cut into a lefty, or it's just going to be a little faster, straighter, straight in, kind of holding. So what side of the plate do you want to throw it to? Lefties, pretty much rule of thumb is lefties throw it to the right side of the plate. You want to throw it, bust it into a righty. You stick with a four seam fastball to that side of the plate, two seam fastball away to a righty. For a right-hander, you want to drive your four seam fastball away from a right-handed hitter and inside, high and in to a left-handed hitter. All right, change-up is a grip that you really got to play with. It's something that, you know, the circle change, some go across the two seams, circle it, thumb over the index finger over the thumb. Some go across the four seam. There's the two fingers down the middle, and then you use the two to split the side. Again, thumbs just kind of hanging off. The important thing is on the changeup, I even held mine. I struggled throwing it off the outside three fingers, so I went more of this where the middle finger comes over this seam, get the ball back towards the back end of your finger, and then strap these two fingers on the side, okay? Important thing is that you keep that one down the middle. It's relaxed. There's no real pressure. You should be able to hold it without the thumb, and then you just barely set the thumb on there and keep this finger relaxed. You'll get a lot of movement. What you don't want to do is get it to where it's in this type of shape where you're throwing a fork ball. That's very bad for your arm and not something that really kids need to be learning to throw. So whatever works for you, my thing is you should try different grips. Find the one that works best for you, whether it's, you know, three fingers or outside three. Some even go with all four. It's very important that you hold it in the back part, right in this part of your hand, and that your fingers are loose, no matter what grip you have. And then you got to throw it just like a fastball. You got to believe in the grip. It does all the work. You throw it the same as a fastball.